Welcome to the Theatre of Others podcast. My name is Adam Marple, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Theatre of Others. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a shutdown and reevaluation of space and gathering, we at the Theatre of Others are thinking about what stories we need and how best we can share them. We believe space is psychology, and it informs the way in which an audience interacts and reacts to what is presented to them. We create uniquely theatrical events in bespoke sensory performance spaces crafted to encourage curiosity and grant the audience permission to commune with the play. Now that space has moved online, how can we encourage interaction and action amongst an audience virtually? The Theatre of Others produces plays that both welcome and challenge the audience. We are committed to international collaboration and are a laboratory that helps artists grow through intensive study of their craft. The Theatre of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purpose of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task, and it requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? On the podcast today from Melbourne, Australia, are co-artistic directors Budi Miller and myself in Cairo, Egypt. This podcast contains explicit language. Hi, Budi.
Hi, Adam.
What are you doing in my square? You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be somewhere on the other side of the planet. What are you doing here?
We're in Bali.
We're in Bali.
Oh my
So-
God.
Oh my God.
You're in my room in Bali. Welcome to my room in Bali.
Yeah.
It's a very humble abode in the village. Swastiastu.
It feels weird. I want to keep looking here.
I know. I want to keep looking at you in the
Yeah.
my reflection. I'm like, keep checking myself on my reflection to see how I look. Yeah. I'm not used to this microphone. I'm not used to you like being so I can't really be mean to you now because you can slap me.
Thank you.
That's not fair.
No, it's great. I love it. I'll do this from now on.
No. I don't like this. I feel confronted by the white people now. Like I can't like go after the white people when they're sitting next to me.
You shouldn't go after the white people anyway. I mean, yes, some of them, but not just
Not this white
just
person.
a blanket generalization of all.
Not this white
people.
person. You know, this
white-
is person in sign language.
Oh,
This is person. This is people.
how do you say white?
White is. Do you want to know what white is?
Is it racist?
White is.
Where we steal the soul?
Yeah, white is
of the
this.
villagers.
You want a black is?
White person.
Black is
Oh, okay.
white, black.
Ebony and
Ivory live together in perfect harmony. Now, and our harmonies are even better now because we're like in the same room. I can hear you. Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? We all know that people are the same wherever you go.
we're gonna get charged money if you keep singing. So
Oh
don't do that.
shit. We got money?
No, we're gonna be charged money if we keep singing this
I
song.
ain't got no money.
Stevie and Paul will be looking at us for money.
Don't tell them we're doing it.
You too.
Oh, Oprah, because you know Oprah's listening.
Oprah. She's checking.
It's weird.
It
Well,
is
look
very
at why
weird. I know,
like
I know.
why are you looking at the camera? Look at
Because
me.
well, yes, but we also have an audience who wants to be and enjoy. I don't know.
It's a new. Okay, so we have to. Okay, should we viewpoint this? Let's viewpoint this.
Well, Jack just told me to move closer to the camera, so there
Okay,
we go.
so let's viewpoint this.
I got to do this to block out the light that's behind
Okay,
my
so
head.
it's
This
a-
is this is a mess. Everybody's enjoying this one. This is great. Hi.
Well, this is actually what happens in filming. Like you have to be like really close to get
Mhm.
the shot. So like,
Yeah.
it is really close.
This feels so weird.
Yes, we're in the same room. Okay, so
yeah.
being in the same room, what is the advantage of us being in the same room, Adam Marple?
It's not about being in the same room. It's about being in the same country, the same space, the
Yes.
same training,
the
together,
same island.
the same island. I mean, yes, the same time zone is always very helpful as well. But We're going to be together for the next 4 weeks.
Hmm.
What was that? You sighed like
No, that wasn't a sigh. That was a tasting of it. That was just a tasting.
Yeah.
No, it's just because I haven't warmed up. That's
Okay.
my breath is
Gotcha.
my breath is held.
Mm.
But that was a nice sigh. That wasn't a sigh. That was a release. That was like,
Okay, all right.
Finally.
Yeah.
We've been holding up this monolith for so long, and now we actually get to be in the same room.
Yes, we do.
This is so intimate. We're being intimate in my bedroom, and you record. Stop. I'm a married man, Adam Marple. So, what the hell are we doing in Bali?
We are about to start today.
Today, y'all. They're arriving today.
The Theatre of Others Taksu Training Workshop, Bali Taksu Training Workshop. We've been talking about it for a very, very long time. It's finally here. So for the next 12 days, we're here in the village. We're training. Your training, my training, DBS training, the Master Artist of Bali training, and putting it all together and doing some really exciting stuff. I'm excited about this. I have been on the periphery of this for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, you have actually.
But I've never actually been in it or seen it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting because you've been so close.
Yeah.
So close but so far.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been there while they were training, but I was not teaching, and I was not joining in to the viewing part of it. And we have not worked together in a very long time.
Oh my God, it's been years.
And we certainly haven't put the new training that we've got together, which is exciting.
I know, that's really exciting.
And so we got a really cool group of people.
And it will be televised. We're recording it all.
That's
We're
right.
Archiving the whole thing.
That's right. We are recording the whole thing. Are we putting snippets of it on the website, or?
Oh, I think we'll do some. We have to ask Jack. Jakina's very stingy with the images.
Yeah. Not at all, but okay.
No. But the reason why it's important for us to archive it because as theater company, we have to archive what we're doing. For the coffers and those that come after us. What kinds of ancestors are we becoming? And there aren't enough recorded footage of master teachers of color that are contributing to the pantheon of knowledge for actors training. So twofold. And we have an incredibly diverse group of artists that are coming to train. I'm not going to say students because they're all artists in their own right. They're not coming here to learn how to act. They're coming here to develop work.
To deepen their craft in themselves. We've been saying from the beginning that this is a commitment and an investment in yourself, an investment in your artistry. And so they're already artists in their own right, and they're wanting to deepen that, and also, as you say, develop their own work. We're doing something for the first time, really, where not in this workshop, where you can come with work to kind of pitch to us as well. We've got the audio play festival coming up, and we are really, really excited about the work that we've been getting from people from all over the world, and we want to continue to help people develop their work and their craft. And if we can be a part of that somehow, even if it's just tangentially pushing from the back, then that's exciting for us, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to see what this work does in creation of new work because we do it so often with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I want to see what happens with these other artists because we also have the Balinese as well. And then we have the Balinese gamelan, we have the Balinese ketchup, we have Balinese dance, we have mask. Every person will have their own mask from one of our mask makers. And so they're going to get a full tilt boogie. They're going to have a Zafu cushion for the Fitzmaurice work. They'll have a Penasar mask that they will work and develop and train and take home. It's theirs from one of our greats. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Y'all better do it next time. Right. Well, we have a wait list already.
We have a pretty long wait list coming, and we've been talking about maybe doing it
twice a year. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it twice a year. So yeah, because it's a movement. So we also are an institution as well, because so many people have been like, "This is so great. Where do I find this? This is so great. Where do I find this? This is so great. Where do I find this? Well, that's cool. Now we can actually give it to.
Yeah.
Now we can give you the whole full tilt boogie, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, what one thing do you want to implement today with the participants arriving? What is the one jewel that you want to plant as a seed for them to focus on for the trip?
I want them to, and this is the beautiful thing about Bali, and I want them to slip into this as quickly as possible, is to become other oriented, not about self. I mean, obviously they're working their craft on their self and things like that, but if all the focus is there and not on the other, meaning like, can I get you anything? How are you doing? Hey, do you want to walk with me to the temple? All the things of just like, it's not about just person, not just about the siloing effect of me and my experience in Bali and my jet lag and my whatever, because they've all gotten off a plane today. If they can switch into, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? How you doing? What's going on? You want to go get some? Can I get you some water? Like this kind of this sense of being other directed, because if everybody else is other directed, then everybody's being taken care of, versus if you're just taking care of yourself, somebody may be left out. So I think that's a beautiful thing that I recognize back in myself as soon as because I've been here for a couple of days now, of going, yeah, how can I help you? I'm not in a rush. What do you need? How's your family? What's this? What's that? And so I really recognize that is a big part of how I feel open and wanting to make work, not from a selfish centered place, but an open othered place, which I think is such a part of what the company is and why we formed the company here, the community, the community part of it. So that's what I hope that they start to take in today. And they're already feeling that as they're getting off of the plane and having to find each other and then get on the bus and, where are you from? What do you do? Oh, what kind of work do you make? Like that kind of camaraderie and community that it's built. That's what I'm looking for.
And when you say othering, do you mean group or do you mean ensemble?
Ensemble, but at the same time, like that it's not just, here we are, the theater of others in the village.
Yeah, come on now.
But that here we are, here we are in the village. That it's that's the Balinese are so incredibly welcoming and lovely, but also at the same time private. Understandably, we're staying in people's homes, and they're so lovely and welcoming to us. But I don't want it to just be a feel like, there's my concierge that I see every single morning, and then I come back in. But this is a family that's letting me stay in their home, and I'm using their products, and they're they're offering me these things, and I want to avail myself of the hospitality that is given, and I want to be able to be hospitable back to them and give my energy, my love back to them as well. That's the othering part of yeah.
Well, I'm gonna jump onto that as well and say that I want them to be engaged with the. I was told I was too loud. So
We're getting notes from
Jack. In my moment of depth, in my moment of,
I also want to say something, but further away.
I'm going to say it further away. I got close to Jack because the light is like doing this weird thing. That's why I'm close. So, do you want sound or do you want face?
I can give you one or the other, but you can't.
I can give you one or the other, but I'm not going to give you both. Okay, well, right here seems to be okay. So
here we go. And I'm blocking more light if I do this.
Yes, that's good.
But you look tiny.
I look huge. Just what's he saying?
This distance is good.
Okay, good.
You were saying?
I think I want them to really focus on the gathering, and what that means, the commune that happens in the gathering, and focusing on the act of prayer that happens in the gathering, in the communication. So as they work on the other, I want them to really reflect on what is happening in the gathering of that gathering of themselves, gathering of the individuals, but also what's happening to them internally as they connect to one another, as they allow themselves to slowly let their Western bodies, most of them are from the Western canon of bodies,
Yeah.
even our Singaporeans have a Western canon of body.
Yeah.
City
energy.
City energy.
Yeah.
And to allow the island and the village to teach them what that actually means. In satsang, we have the sangha, which is the gathering. So we are looking to work on that gathering energy as artists. And I love this. I love this focusing on the other and the gathering, because it literally goes right into the pedagogy of the Balinese performing arts training, the BPAT, which is when we're working. Like when I was just at a ceremony a few days ago. It was a ceremony for the clan of Iwan Dibia. So his clan, it was a special day for them on the new moon, and so we all were in the temple, and so it was a special ceremony, but there was a specific ceremony only for the clan, the family, and there was this really awesome moment where they were like trying to figure out who's going to play what instrument on the gamelan for the ceremony. And they were passing back and forth. It was almost like they were trying it out, and like, no, you go over here, no, you go over here, no, you do jang jang.
I don't want to do jang jang.
It was so great. But then also the other thing was that because music and performance is such a deep part of the religious consciousness and the communal development, that it wasn't performative. It was like we have to perform for the gods, but performing for the gods is like breathing air. Right. It's not like now we're performing for the gods. Right. No, because there is the macrocosm and the microcosm, the invisible and the visible, the niskala and the siskala, which is part of the entire embodied consciousness of the Balinese people. And we as Westerners, we naturally fall into a binary of external, internal. This is why when I always talk about, like, I don't talk about, like, an internal actor, an external actor, a physical actor coming from outside in or inside out. It's all, but because of the way that we have been culturally developed, we've been developed into a binary, and the binary actually doesn't even exist. So, but you get to experience the people who fully embody it. It's in their spine. Like, it's just how you interrelate. Like the shadows. It's so, like, shadow puppetry, for example. It's so cool because the shadows actually are a representation of the ancestral world, of the invisible world. That's why when you get a reflection of a shadow in the old days, it was considered to be really bad luck and dangerous to step on someone's shadow, or they wouldn't go outside because at high noon, because you couldn't see the shadow. So there's this magical, imaginative consciousness around the shadows being a part of your consciousness, as opposed to it just being something to keep you cool, some shade to stand under. So there's a three-dimensionality to the sense of presence here. And the other thing for me specifically, because I'm literally finishing the PhD within weeks. I said it, it's on there. And I'm in Bali. So the magic is I get to close this huge tome of my life at the place where it began. So cool. Yeah. But also the body and consciousness that I exist as. And because I've had to go really deeply into the theories of that I'm practicing, and getting to actually truly witness it in like live right in front of me, has been the biggest gift that this research has given me. Like this humility of recognition of where I've been, what I've done, where I am, and what's to become is all happening in just being around the Balinese. So cool. Okay, so that's the seed we're gonna plant.
Yes.
Okay, so how are we gonna water the seed?
Well, I've been sitting here thinking like, I've asked you this question so many times before, but I always like revisiting this question because it's such an important part of how we met, who we are, and what we're wanting to do. Because we both, met at LaSalle College of the Arts, and we were constantly tweaking and tinkering in that program,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that there were still things that we didn't like about the program, things that we couldn't do in the program,
Yeah.
and went on to different programs and the same thing again. And now we're both kind of thinking, okay, maybe we don't do it through that avenue anymore. We do it through our own stuff.
Yeah.
So when you were putting together these 12 days this week, and you're thinking about um, the choices of things, I'll give you a little bit of context. This is a long-winded question. Sorry.
We've got the time.
Because I'm coming in with my work,
Mm.
and viewpoints is so complementary with anything. It can go anywhere, but it's one of those things where I'm going, right, but how do I advance whatever is already happening instead of just being a tag on kind of thing? How do I take this work into work with the BPAT training? So when you're putting together, when you're structuring the program, when you're structuring this, what's the kind of the, not the criteria, but what's the, no, they don't need that? Because we've had this conversation where we actually like reduced times and expanded times because no, they need more of that. They need less of that. You can do that in one day. That comes at the end. Where does that kind of like, what's the rubric that you in your mind of going like, okay, we're in Bali, so of course they're going to get X, Y, and Z, but like we're not actually doing all the dances. We're not doing all the stuff. So what's your cutoff point? What's the thing that's like, nah, they're not going to get that, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the best part, Adam, is that this island is going to be very good for you because you have to be in full impro mode.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it.
Full impro mode, like, and surrender, like, because this is the thing that I always push you towards is like, you know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
I know my shit.
Yeah, you know your shit.
I know my shit.
So just land.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell teachers all the time. They're like, okay, so, like, you can't teach your syllabus. You have to teach your students.
Yeah.
You have to see what's in front of you and go from there. And what's great about Bali is there's always something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a ceremony, there's traffic, there's, something happens. A dog runs into the space.
Use it. Use the dog.
But then what is the most important part about this? And this is actually what I was talking to Shalia and Janelle about when we were working on the Work with Encompass Collective at the Celebration Barn over the summer, was that we are in control of what gets done. We are in control of the time. We are in control of the pedagogy. We are in control.
Yeah.
So if we need more time, we need more time.
Yeah.
If we need less time, we need less time. If they need to pause and go eat, they need to pause and go eat.
Yeah.
We have full control over how we work. And this is a very Balinese way of working as well. Like, when does the ceremony begin? When the priest arrives.
Right. When it begins, yeah.
When does the ceremony begin? When the priest arrives.
Yeah.
That's it. And until then, there's going to be a ceremony. Other than that, you socialize, you gather, which is prayer.
Yeah.
So it's the spirit going, okay, I'm ready to come in. Let's bring in the priest.
Yeah.
And then the priest arrives because now everyone has been primed to the work that needs to be done. And so in tandem with what we were talking about with planting the seed of the other and the gathering, that's also part of it. You plant the seed by meeting and gathering, and okay, so now it's time to work. Yes, we do have these suggested time zones.
Yeah,
we have colonial time, and then we have Bali time.
Right. Jack asked the question yesterday, what's Bali time? And I said it's somewhere between 10 minutes and an hour. We'll meet you in 10 minutes Bali time. When is that? Between 10 minutes and an hour.
The Balinese say that Bali time is, there's lots of ceremonies in Bali.
Yeah.
Budi said, "There's too many ceremonies in Bali." That's what Bali time is. There's too many ceremonies in Bali.
There's too many ceremonies in Bali. No, never. We
Never
need
too
them,
many.
we need them praying for the earth because nobody else is.
I know, the heart chakra of the world, and and this goes along the lines of my research as well. It's like, look at what we're doing and look at how deep and how efficient the way we're working is. It goes along the lines of the conversation we were having with Eugene about these intensive models. And his intensive model is through his Chinese methodology. Work. My intensive model is through retreat. Sit back, bask. Yeah, but the retreat also is quite heavy. My retreat is not really a retreat, y'all. It's not a retreat. It's not a retreat. People are going, so will we have time to go? No. So will I be able to? No. You came here to work.
7 a.m. to 9 p.m. with breaks just for meals.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
If you're lucky, it ends at 9 p.m. It doesn't end 9 p.m.
No.
They have rehearsal.
9 p.m. is in the schedule, the colonial time schedule, where we have it ending. But it doesn't.
And when we did the visit at the Celebration Barn, we worked until 2:30 in the morning because when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. You're in a culture. You're in a cultural aesthetic where it's about connection and the vibration and the energy that's being generated. And we worked from 9 in the morning until 2:30 in the morning, hardcore, nonstop. And this is also coming from being inspired by cultures that have 6-hour performances, 9-hour performances. It's a ritual. It's all up, and that's why the gathering is so much. The other in the gathering is so important because if you don't make it hyperbolic and there's no peak experience, you don't have any peaks. You just have balance, and when you have balance, everyone's allowed. Everyone's invited to the party.
Yeah. And you can lean on each other.
And keep making.
Yeah. You can do anything for 10 days.
You can do anything for 10
You can
days.
do anything for 10 days. And then you get a little treat at the end.
Yeah. Yes, but we won't tell you what that treat is.
You have to come here.
You have to come and have the treat in it.
At the retreat. A treat at the retreat.
You need to come and have a treat at the retreat. Oh. Yeah, okay, so we water them how? Water the seed how?
Constant work. I mean, constant change of work and depth, being in depth of the work, responding to them, what their needs are, recognizing where they are today, what we can give them, get from them, push them without being overly pushy. I hate that part of, no, you've got to do this. Mental health day. Okay. I mean, the things that
this is a mental health day. These 10 days are your mental health days.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can do anything for 10 days. Like, you're going to be like, you're not coming here to get a mani-pedi.
Afterwards, you are.
A masseuse come into your room and take care of you for these 10 days. This is not a vacation. This is. I'm not saying anybody. As I look at the massage table next to me,
that massage table is for healing. It is. I'm going to be using it for healing.
Hey, I'm not.
I'm a core energetic healer. I'm going to be healing people, keeping people in the vibe, keeping them alive.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that for 10 days you're coming to work your butt off in a best, greatest way. Those are all the retreats that I have loved. You're right. You're up till 2:00 in the morning because you're stressing over which version of Dante's Inferno do you want to use because the translation might change the whole thing. And then, oh my God, we've got to find the right hat for this moment.
Yeah.
Just those things that are amazing for an artist to play with and deal with, and to be in your body full time, and to be just a little bit sleepy, and to be just a little bit hungry, and to be just a little bit fed up with the people around you, and still wanting to work and have fun and play with them.
Get up and go. Because that's the Balinese way. You want to dance, get up and dance. Get up and go. Get up and go. This is why I don't like colonial time.
I know.
There's no stopwatch on life.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's a great opportunity. And I think the way I want to water their seed, is to really address their moments of fear and hesitation. That if they get afraid or hesitate, I want them to step over that and move through it, address what it is. So meaning, like when people say, "I need help with this," go help.
Yeah.
Or and to utilize. I mean, like we have a full gamelan orchestra here, and they're all learning gamelan orchestra. Put that in your work. Put that in your piece.
How do you figure?
How do you cast the whole company?
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to really use this time as your laboratory and utilize our resources.
Yeah.
We have an incredible amount of resources for you to use as a laboratory for your work.
I watched this morning a beautiful, I don't know if it's beautiful, but it was beautiful. It's what I needed to hear. It was on Disney Plus, and it was with Chris Hemsworth, and it was called Limitless. And he's talking about as he's getting older, and he's obviously very famous movie star and things like that. He's starting to think about tackling age and stress and all those.
How old is he?
I know. I know.
I was like, what is he, like 30?
He's 30 something. Anyway, I know. But anyway, looking past that, the high pressure life that he has and what people are expecting from him and all those kind of things, he wants to be around for his family longer than this crazy messed up lifestyle that he has is. And they were talking about stress, and there's two kinds of stress. There's distress and eustress. And the eustress is what you were just talking about, which is we don't build muscle unless we tear that muscle. That's what working out, that's what exercise is always about. We don't build our lung capacity for cardio unless we stretch those things out. And that's what eustress is. And so pushing past that fear zone is a eustress kind of situation. It presents itself as distress. We recognize it as distress because we know what that feels like is fear, I clenching up. The body does that, but the body doesn't recognize it. And you talk about this in your work all the time. The body doesn't recognize what is real and what is imaginary. So if you can tell yourself, no, I can do this. You can do that because the body doesn't know if this is real or not. Is this eustress? Is this distress? The body doesn't recognize. And it's the pushing past that boundary that I think that's an important part of this work, an important part of when they start to make their work, as you just said. I need the full company. I need everybody. I need all 21 of you to be in my show.
Yeah.
The kind of the courage to actually ask that. I know every single one of you are tired. I know you're all working this thing, but I need 21 of you in my show.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to ask of that from you. But it's also about, using that time, these people's precious time well. So can I have 1 hour? Can I have 1 hour, all 21 of you?
Yeah.
So balancing that, courage to ask.
That's the word I was looking for.
The courage to ask and the ability to say, enough, halas. I've taken up too much of your time. I've gotten what I need. I could use more, but I want to respect you all because I want to be a part of your thing as well. If you need me, then I'll be there because I'm going to say yes.
It's all about the courage.
Yeah.
Because this is what my energy healer teacher Anton Borowski says. Be courageous. You have an impulse. Something's coming through. Be courageous, and have the courage to make a choice.
Yeah.
Because if you sit back, maybe that's I don't know if that's an energetic thing. Like, is that me or is it real? Or nothing's real. None of it's real. It's all an illusion.
Yeah.
So be courageous. Have courage.
Yeah. That crippling fear of maybe this, maybe that. Should I do this? Should I do that? And then nothing ever happens. Yeah, that's the number one thing that I work with directors is just make a choice. You can correct that choice later on, but if you don't make a choice now, then you're just going to be sitting there stressed. Like, you have a blank canvas. That's a scary thing. A big blank canvas, and I can do anything on it. And I can sit here and stare at it for days, or I can just make a big cross about it and go, ugh, I don't look like that. Now I can make a change. Now I can respond to that ugly, brown, stripe across it. That's not what I wanted to make. Now I have something to respond to. Just make a choice. Yeah, have the courage to do that.
Oh my God, this is going to be a really cool workshop.
I know.
I'm very excited.
I'm
because
so ready for this.
Because we love making stuff. So this is going to. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not in the institution.
So am I.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
we're free.
Yeah.
Well, we had the institution to bring us together. Because if we didn't have the institution, we wouldn't be together.
So we will not knock it down completely.
Yes. Everyone has to go through prison at a certain period of their lives.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You hear that, Eugene Ma? You're allowed to do your institutional stuff. Eugene's like, I need to do that. I say, oh, yes, Eugene, you do.
That's okay.
Can someone please give Eugene Ma a program so he can just be done with it by now?
Yeah.
Because the other side's amazing, Eugene. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. We're free at last.
Yeah. He does that when I'm here too, as well. not just the podcast. He's not just performing for the YouTube audience. He'll just do that to me.
This one's for Jack.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
Jack is dying right now. I'm gonna pass out. Oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. Jack is probably dead.
Jack dead.
Jack is like, somebody please tell him he can't sing.
He's muted us. He's not listening.
He's already muted us. Okay, we planted the seed.
Yes, we
water the flower.
Yeah.
What kind of sunlight? What kind of solar nutrition are we going to give them? Hovering. We're going to feed. We fed them. We planted it. We're feeding it. And what kind of radiance will we give them? We turn the light on them.
I'm not sure I understand the metaphor.
So overseeing.
Yeah, we're there. We're hovering over their work at all times, constantly. Just there.
Let me feed into that. So it's the sense of like it's a different kind of nourishment. Meaning knowing when to give them space to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like we ain't gonna be all up in your shit.
We're not okay. So to use your metaphor, we're not crowding around them, blocking the sun.
Right.
We're allowing them to
get some heat
and grow. But to be there to weed if they need it, to be there.
When you get cold, do you not look for the sun?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But when it gets too hot, you look for the shade. Exactly. And we got lots of shade. Mm-hmm. I got lots of shade. You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Thanks, you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy.
You go, girl.
Thank you, Daddy.
2 snaps for you.
And a swirl. Woo! What? Okay, so we've got the planted seed. We're watering it. Yeah. We've given it sunlight. Mm-hmm. When do we harvest? Are we harvesting on this trip?
That's a good question. I think that's up to them if we harvest because they're presenting. Mm. They will. Here's a question to answer your question.
You answer the question with a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
When are you ready? Do you decide, or does circumstances decide?
I think deadlines decide.
Well, circumstances decide then.
Yeah.
So then we harvest before the 29th of this month.
Yeah.
That's the deadline.
Well, yeah, and the fruit that we get is the fruit that we get, and some of it may need to stay in a pot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of it just maybe an idea.
Yeah. But I really want to push forward the courage of an idea because I'm thinking about look at this. I'm thinking about the adaptation workshop that I did with Stephen Galtney. Mm-hmm. And I spoke about it before, but it's so true. Like he gave us a provocation that I literally froze on. I was like, this is too close to home. I can't fucking write on this. Yeah. I've spent a whole week like fretting over this one sentence. I just can't. It was a long sentence, but it was one sentence. And then I said, "Fuck it." I'm just, and then I had to show up, and I showed up because I show up. Showing 90% of this work is showing up.
Yeah.
Not having this shame and say to do my work. It's not allowed. It's not how I was brought up. You show up with what you got.
Yeah.
And what I had was one sentence. And I had the courage to just say, "This is all I have. I'm just going to read this." And then the feedback that I got, that's the importance of that workshop that we did, was like, we had feedback, from Stephen Galtney. We had feedback from the other people that were participating in the workshop. And it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it propelled that one sentence into a 5-act play. They said, "That's a play I want to see."
Yeah.
It was one sentence.
Yeah.
So having the courage to just go for it. And that's really the Balinese way. So when I keep saying it's the Balinese way, I'll give you a little anecdote. We had come here. It was when I was training. It was when I brought Jonathan Majors, Julian Elijah Martinez, Lauren E. Banks, Taylor Barfield, Leland Fowler, to Bali to train with me. And while I was developing my theories with my PhD and the BPAT, there was one day that we went. There was in the village, because the village that we stay in is known for the barong mask. So they were having a barong competition festival. So like everyone from every level of barong dance was there.
Yeah.
And there was this one kid that was like in the front of that. It's a hard dance. The mask is like 10 kgs,
huge.
12 kgs.
It's
really heavy.
Yeah.
And you have to hold it up above your head for like 30 minutes. Yeah. So it's like full on workout. And you're dancing with your feet, and it's all this movement that you have to do. And this kid was like, you can see he was like, ah, ah. And then everybody, there was not one person in the audience judging him for not being able to do that. They're like, "Yes, good job, yeah." He was like, ah, and I was like, "Yes, good job."
Yeah.
And that for me was a huge realization for me, because I was also there with some really fantastic Yale actors, and so there's this competitive prowess embedded in their abilities, like with everything that they do, right? Mm-hmm. But then when we saw that, it was like, yeah, it's not American Idol.
Yeah,
it's really about taking care of the god of art.
Yeah.
And so having the courage to do those one sentences, having the courage to take Stephen Galtney's adaptation workshop. When is it? Do you know when it is?
It's starting up
September.
Right? Yeah,
in
September.
Sign up, y'all. If you ever wanted to write your own story or write something that doesn't exist, do this workshop. It is the best. It was like, it changed me. It changed me as an artist. I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful that I could get in. That was But yeah. Anyway, so but I think that courage to just say, "I don't know. Yes, okay. This is what I'm getting."
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things that happen for clairvoyance. Like when you get a message, you just speak the messages, because the messages aren't yours. It's for the person who you're giving the message to.
It's not for me to interpret.
Yeah.
It's for me to do.
It's not for us to interpret, right? It's for me to give you the message, and then you do whatever you can with it.
That's what feedback is for. That's what critique sessions are for. That's what, to plug our next book club, our critical response process is for.
Hello. What's our next book? The next book?
Liz Lerman's Critical Response Process, which you'll start reading this week.
Yes, I haven't started reading. I've been busy. I've been writing a PhD.
It's okay. It's only 60 pages long, so
and so is one of my chapters.
Hey, it's not like the 300 of our last couple books, so it's
it's true. It's an easy one, so you really need to get on it. Get down on it.
I was listening to a podcast this morning, and this is Andrew Huberman, he's a clinical doctor at Stanford University, and he has his own podcast about the brain and things like that. It's called Huberman Lab. Good, really good scientific based information about the body and how the body processes these things. And he said there was a study that's fascinating, which is they took a group of children and they gave them the same problem, like, not math-based problems or something like, but problem-solving problems that they needed to do. One group was told, you're really intelligent, you're really talented, you're really smart. The other group was said, you did a really good job, you really pushed through that, you did really good work. So they tested what the levels of accomplishment in those tasks were. 3 or 4 hours later, they came back. The group that was told that they were intelligent scored less on problem solving. The group that had told that they were determined, that they were hardworking, that they persevered, scored significantly better. And we're not talking like it dipped down a little bit because it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the kids were tired, like significant raises and decreases in both of those things. So that hard work, determination, being told that effort, your effort was worthwhile, was far more significant than being told that you were smart, you were intelligent, you were talented.
Because you know why?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Because you can't rely. Talent is talent. Let me just grab that out. I'm so talented. Look at that. And then you give up. You don't work as hard because I've got talent. Versus hard work is work. It is something I have to do. It's perseverance. It's will. It's something that I can actually measure of those things.
Do you know what the symbol of the chicken is in Bali?
What's the symbol of the chicken in Bali?
So the chicken in Bali is really significant because they're always working and working and looking for food. So you have to be like a chicken. Like part of the balance is, yes, you have a high spiritual life, but you also have to be a hard worker. You have to, and that's why like all the things they do is so difficult. But when it's embodied, it's not difficult anymore. Like like when I was watching them deciding who was going to play the gamelan, it was like it was embodied. So it's like, okay, you play the gong, so okay, you play the gong, okay, you got the jang jang, okay, no, get out, I'm the jang jang. Let me do the jang jang. It's so good. But one of the other things was like, I'm watching this and they were all like old guys. So I'm just like, youth, come on, Balinese youngins, where you at? The kids, the little kids, they were like there. But I was just looking at the middle generation, that middle generation, and that's what Gustut talks about. Anom's son, Gustut, talks about like the inspiring the next generation of mask maker, next generation of Balinese artists. So that's also part of what we're doing here, is also to bring people to Bali to understand that like this place has a huge value for us as artists, and for the young Balinese to see that, oh wow, these Westerners are interested in what we're doing. It's not about them coming to the West, it's about us coming to the East and learning from them.
There's that it's the hero's journey. I think you got to go away to come back. And of course we bemoan the going away part, but it's a part of the journey of as well. So but keeping what is worth coming back to, keeping invigorating that, keeping tradition, but also modernizing tradition. Like what is?
Well, it's always modern. The only reason why Balinese forms have existed for so long is because they're always modern. Pat Dibia is always making new dances. Pat Dibia is like, it's all modern. It's not. It's like, so like the issue is that when Westerners see it through their own semiotic gaze, they think that it's a traditional dance, but it's not. It's a modern dance through Balinese lens. Okay, so do we do provocations on these kind of podcasts?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, let's do provocations. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. And then we'll do some provocations.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary conforming individuals, you're listening to the stereo sounds of JDB, Jack David Burmeister. And we're back. So we're back to provocations,
Yeah.
Adam Marple.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Besides come to Bali.
That's a great provocation.
Besides come and be on the waiting list for
Yeah,
next
come
year.
train with us, yeah.
Besides joining Stephen Galtney's adaptation workshop.
That's a great provocation. That's my provocation.
Then I would say my provocation is, what is it that you've been sitting on? What's the work that what's the one sentence that you've been stuck on and you think, there's nothing there? My provocation to you is to look back at that thing, that idea, that little kernel of a seed that you had going on, that you kind of abandoned and thought, I don't know. I'll get there when I get there. One day, right? Today's the day. So that my provocation to you is to take your one day, I'll do that thing, and start on it. It's just one step in front of the other. You're not going to write your opus tomorrow. So you got to start just by writing that first sentence. That's my provocation.
That's very good. I'm going to add on to that one. If you say, yeah, but I can't afford it, contact whomever you think is going to say, no, you can't do it because you can't afford it, and see if you can get a payment plan, see if they have any scholarships, see if there's any way that they can let you engage them and having you participate in the way that you can afford it. There's always a way. Don't let finances get in the way of your dreams.
Good provocation.
How will we know that they did this? How will we know? How will we know that they did this at a Marple?
They're going to go to speakpipe.com/Theatre of Others. Again, speakpipe.com/Theatre of Others. Theatre of Others, all one word, theatre with an R-E. You can leave a 90-second voice message there. We'll play it on air. We haven't had some questions or answers back to us.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Y'all on holiday or what?
Really? I mean, we see you listening to the podcast. The numbers are just going up every single time.
Yeah.
We're very happy for all of our new listeners.
Yes.
Send us questions. Talk to us.
Talk to us.
It's not just the two of us talking to each other. We're not that completely egotistical that we just want to sit here and talk to each other the entire time.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. We're not that egotistical. We're egotistical. We're not that egotistical. We're talking to you. We want to have a conversation with you.
Yes, please.
What are you interested in? What are you curious about? What have we not talked about in a long time or at all that you want us to talk about?
I mean,
what about shows? What about things that you want to see? What are things that you wish were happening out there in the world? Well, here we are. We can maybe do something about that.
Hello.
So you can send it to speakpipe.com/Theatre of Others. You can go to podcast@theatreofothers.com. Send an email there. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, website, Threads, smoke screens, pigeons, everything. We can send it, yeah. But how are they going to know if we do answer their questions if they send it in, Budi? What do they need to do?
Well, they need to subscribe. We come to your inbox week. We rain, sleet, snow, you name it. We come through. We're in Bali. I mean, we travel the world, y'all. We come to your inbox once a week.
Unbroken.
185
episodes. We've not missed one.
185 episodes, and we ain't missed the one. Ne'er one.
So surprised.
Now we're gonna have to. Now we always have to. You can't get rid of me, Adam Marple.
Exactly. That's what it is.
So, and you know what can happen though? You might like us a lot.
I think you will.
If you subscribe, you might like us a lot. And if you like us, give us 5 stars. Just like my Uber driver, 5 stars. You know, you give me 5 stars, I give you 5 stars. It's a win-win, no sum win game of the wins with the sums, winning the games.
You get it. You get it.
And then if you really like us, if 5 is not enough, you need to give us 6 stars. Put it in the comments. Write in the comments. Those comments are really good because it goes into the algorithm. And then we go from the top 5 podcasts. 5. Wow. We're the top 5 podcasts.
Top 5%.
Top 5% podcasts in the whole wide world to 100% one.
Just us.
Number 1.
Just us.
Number 1. And you know what that means? We get Oprah. Or Beyonce. Oprah. Michelle Obama. We get Michelle Obama.
You know, like Beyonce's Virgo.
I like Virgos. Shalia's a Virgo. I love Virgos.
I don't know. I said, which one do you want to
Janelle's
get?
a Virgo. I love Janelle.
I said, if you want to get, who do you want to get? Oprah, Beyonce, or Michelle Obama? And
Virgos are just bossy.
You said Beyonce's a Virgo. That's all you said. I didn't know what that meant, but I just knew that. Okay, I won't. I'll stop trying to get Beyonce on the podcast.
Virgos with Beyonce money.
Oprah. We're going for Oprah.
Oprah. Watch Oprah be a Virgo. What is Oprah? Is Oprah a Virgo? Does anyone know if Oprah's a Virgo?
Let us know in the comments if Oprah's a Virgo. Yeah.
I want to know. That's what I want to know. That's your provocation. Find out if Oprah is a Virgo and let us know immediately. Yeah. Immediately. Are you checking now?
No, I'm checking.
What is Oprah's zodiac sign?
Let's see. She is. You'll know because I'll just tell you when she was born.
What's to be like a Leo?
January 29th.
That's a Pisces.
No, Pisces is March.
Aquarius? No, it's Aquarius.
Could be.
That's like Akshay. Akshay's Aquarius.
Okay. Don't know what any of that means. But we're gonna get Oprah.
Yeah, we're gonna get Oprah.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna come back next week?
We'll see. You want to do it? You want to do another one of these?
Yeah.
These podcasts. You want to do another?
Maybe
podcast?
we should come back like in a couple of days and do another podcast. Just kind of like walk people through our.
I think
experience.
We should do like a check-in every day or every other day and what we're discovering. Because
it might get emotional, y'all.
Because we're discovering things as well, right? I mean, we know our work, but as you said,
now we have new material.
We've got new participants, and it's Bali, so it's always going to be new. So yeah,
let's do that.
All right.
Okay, for the rest of y'all, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Theatre Brothers podcast. Make sure to visit our website, theatrebrothers.org, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. A special thank you to Purple Planet for the music you've heard. The Theatre Brothers creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purposes of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task and requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? Be sure to tune in next week for our next journey.